Gone in 6 Seconds is one of the best action heist movies of the 1000 and remains one of the most entertaining car-related movies of all time, and is that entertaining that it's one for the ages, definitely. This movie features no other than Nicolas Cage portraying the role of Memphis Reigns, who is a retired master car thief in which has to cut his retirement short due to his brother Kip, also played by Giovanni Ribisi, getting in trouble with a guy called Raymond Calitri, who is played by no other than Christopher Eccleston, who is a crime lord, and Kip owes this crime lord a serious amount of cash. And if Memphis, his brother, can't deliver 50 cars in 3 days, in like under 3 days-ish, then Raymond will kill Kip. And obviously Memphis agrees. He gathers his gang, because obviously it's quite relatable in the sense that you would do anything for your brother, that sort of thing. So he gathers his old team that he used to work with to complete the mission that seems impossible to save his brother's life. What I liked about this movie is the uniquely thrilling story, in which is great to watch as it takes us as the viewer on an incredible journey of Nicolas Cage's character Memphis Reigns, who does steal all these cars to save his brother's life, in which we all know we'd do anything for a family member, and that it's quite relatable in that aspect, like we mentioned previously, that we would do anything to get anybody out the shit. Especially I would, I know probably everyone watching this video probably would agree, they would do anything. That's what this movie represents, that I'll do anything for you to make sure you don't get killed or to protect the people you love. And this movie takes us on an incredible journey, and this is incredible as he manages to steal 49 cars. He collects all the others. It's great to watch all that, but it's the last probably 20 minutes which sums up the journey, as he fails to deliver the last car on time, as he's a little bit late after being chased down from the police basically, and his car is in such a wreck that the car is immediately scrapped. Instead of Kip taking the blame, Raymond takes the blame out on Memphis because he brought in 49.5 cars. I believe that's his exact words. This eventually leads to Raymond and Nicolas Cage's character Memphis Reigns into sort of a altercation, physical altercation, in which they fight between themselves, hitting each other with like wooden chairs, because Raymond's character is into his like woodwork crafting and his art crafting, and Nicolas Cage is trying to shit out of that, beat him down, until it gets to a point where Nicolas Cage is practically useless towards this point, where the police officer, the detective, comes into it. He's trying to scope round, trying to basically he was there to arrest Reigns for stealing all those cars. But in the altercation, the gun ends up sliding to Christopher Eccleston's character, who points the gun at the police officer. And before he can pull the trigger, Nicolas Cage pushes him off the platform where he's just on the edge, and that kills Christopher Eccleston's character. And as a sign of respect of saving his life, the police officer lets him go, in which is the biggest sign of respect, because it's like, I'd do anything for my brother, and that's what this whole story is about. So the police officer respected that, and that basically got wrapped up. So towards the end of the movie, the journey takes us on a huge roller coaster toward, and then it gets to the business end, which we've just discussed. Then it gets to the nice sort of happy end, in which is just the get together of the gang, maybe for the last time as such, of them all who helped steal the cars and everything, get together, and Kip, as a sign of thanks, some keys to the car of the rebuilt Eleanor, who is a car that Nicolas Cage really likes, really, and him and Sarah ride away at the end and just go, away, fuck you, you know what I mean, and give it a test run. So that's where the film ends, and that's why it's such a great happy ending, which was needed for this type of movie. I also really like the actresses and actors used in this movie, as they were all phenomenal, but I'm just going to break down a couple of ones I really liked in this movie, in which, to start off with, you've got to start off with Nicolas Cage, but I thought this was his best movie to date. People could argue it's National Treasure, in which I'd agree. I'd sort of go, okay, National Treasure and Gone in 6 Seconds sort of on the same sort of level, in my opinion. So I think this is one of his best movies, and because he shows everything, a bit of everything. He shows his action side of things, he shows his funny sort of cool side of things as well while stealing the cars, his sort of quirkiness he brings to the role, his energy, his charisma and everything like that. That was part and parcel with the character, and he just fitted into that role in my opinion. And there's nobody else, like I've said, with several other roles that you could have gave that role to and he'd worked as good as he did. And I thought he really worked well in this sort of role. And to be fair, I'm surprised he weren't in more sort of car movies or even were asked to be a part of, let's say, the Fast and Furious franchise, in which I'm surprised he weren't just sort of gone, do you fancy being in it? Because obviously we can see that you're great and gone in 6 seconds, but that never happened, in which I think he would have been great in something like that. However, he was brilliant in this movie, as he brings a lot of everything. And the emotional side, let's not forget about that, because his brother's obviously in trouble and he's got to keep it all together, and you can see that the emotions are getting better of him in certain moments, and I think he really, really fitted this sort of role. I also really liked Angelina Jolie in this role, as to me, I think this was one of her better roles as well. I haven't seen many of her movies, so if she's in a better one, let me know. But I think the best 2 movies that she's in, Wanted and this one, I think she was brilliant. And she brought this like romantic, sort of quirky character in which I really liked with Nicolas Cage, and the interactions with those two were brilliant, as I think she was a previous ex to him, and then they reunited and then got together at the end of the movie again. But yeah, I just loved it, how she really fitted that sort of, yeah, I'm a car thief as well, and because she was a strong-willed woman, and she really fitted into this movie. And again, I can't see anybody playing her role, because everyone who was cast in this movie was excellent. So I also really liked, the last person I really thought was irreplaceable was Christopher Eccleston, as Christopher Eccleston was also fantastic within this movie, and I thought he brought a bit of everything to this role, as well as he might not have been in as much of the movie as the likes of Nicolas Cage, and I think he should have been used more, but as a villain, like I said, he plays it brilliantly. I know he came out recently and said that he didn't, well, not recent, I think it was like 2005, you know what I mean, I'm it past now, but I think he came out and said that he hated the role he played in that, and he wishes he never made that movie. However, I disagree. I thought this was his best movie role. I think he was better in Doctor Who, but I think in movie roles, this was his best. Summarised, gone in 6 seconds, I believe this is one of the best in its sort of genre of being a heist car movie, and was clearly something that Fast and Furious took from this type of movie and created it into a global franchise. I think this really set the tone for your likes and Need for Speeds and Fast and Furious, hence why it's the best in my opinion, as it set the ball rolling for other future car movies and was really influential in certain careers like Nicolas Cage's, Christopher Eccleston's, and many others in this movie, as it set, like Angelina Jolie's as well, set the tone for their careers. So I gave this movie an 8.1, simply for the reason that it was so influential, did what it did what it said on the tin, and was so entertaining at the same time. So if you've enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for the latest updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.